Welcome to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric, a Gen Xer from Connecticut, where I get into local and national news, politics, and culture. No topic is off limits, no feelings are spared. No mainstream sugar-coated BS here. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get on with the show. That's right. Let's get to the show. More like, let's get to the snow. Yes. Before I get started, how is everybody doing out there? I hope you are doing well. If not, I hope things do get better for you real soon. As for me, it's Friday, and I'm going to be covering, my third story is going to be a personal story, so stick around for that. Second story should ruffle some feathers, but the first one, like I said, let's get into the snow. We have, if you are completely unaware, like you haven't turned on a radio in the last 2 days, there is an absolutely enormous winter storm going across the country. I did a search in Grok, and per usual, I told it to use only verified data, but you know how that goes. It's the internet, right? So take it with a grain of salt, but I'm going to go over that because it's not just like where I'm at here up in the Northeast. We've got, winter storm watches and warnings and stuff, but it's not just the Northeast. Some of the numbers, the population numbers, are astounding for this storm. And the dangers, bro. I don't think there are a lot of people that are taking this seriously. They're really concerned. And then there's I know some other people that are like, I'm like, ooh, no, dude. It's not especially if your forecast calls for ice, and a lot of it, because there is some forecasts out there that are nasty, and ice is bad because, well, if ice builds up in your power lines, in case anybody out there is unaware, because there are some people that don't get snow and ice, when ice builds up in the power lines, well, they get heavy and, well, they break. Or the same thing happens with trees, right? Anybody that's been around trees, we remember dealing with the wonderful company of Eversource up here in the Northeast a few years ago because the buildup would cause the branches of trees to snap and they would fall on the power lines. And yeah, the domino effect is awesome. So that's personally one thing I'm focusing on is the power. I really hope the power stays on because we are going to be getting bitterly cold. So enough rambling. Let me go to my search here, and let me see what I found. So, as I said, I did a search on Grok, and it says, a major winter storm described by sources, including a whole litany of these companies. You know the usual ones. Let's see, a potential as a potentially historic and widespread as impacting a large portion of the United States. Yeah, no joke. The storm is starting Friday, January 23rd, today. A slow-moving system, which is one of the biggest problems. We want this sucker to pick up speed, but, sorry, I don't have a top fuel dragster to hook to it. Not that works anyway. But the slow-moving system brings a mix of heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain, and ice, and dangerously cold temperatures affecting tens to over 200 million people. We only have 330 million people in the country, folks. It could affect over 2/3 of the country. Damn. The people under winter weather alerts. Okay, impacts include widespread travel disruptions, power outages from ice and tree damage, and the extreme cold. Now, key affected regions and precipitation types. So I'm going to go down this list. So if you are in this region or you know someone in this region, I'm sure you or they are already aware of what they're encountering now or soon to be, but might want to give them a text or a call to check in on them. All right, southern and central plains. Example, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. The storm starts Friday into Saturday with snow, sleet, and significant ice and freezing rain. That's honestly, when I was hearing the reports the last couple of days, Central Plains, Texas, and all y'all, that was my concern. Because I remember what happened a few years ago. Like, Didn't like the wind turbines that generate power like stop working? Didn't the power grid was like on the verge of collapse because of the cold and stuff? This is bad, dude. Like for those areas, that's bad. All right. Mid-South, Mississippi, Tennessee valleys, Ohio Valley. Heavy mix. Okay, heavy mix of what? With more ice and in southern areas and snow northward. So again, the ice is not that snow is fun. Snow sucks to drive in, right? But the weight of the snow can really affect, branches, roofs, right? Snow is not a joke either, but ice, in my opinion, and I ain't a weatherman. I'm just a guy that's seen things and experienced stuff. Ice is my concern. So if you in the Mid-South, Mississippi, Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley, if you're in those areas, hopefully you're a little more northward, getting more of the snow. Mid-Atlantic to northeast, including New England. Examples, Hartford, Connecticut area. Primarily heavy snow, arriving Saturday night into Sunday into Monday. Awesome. I believe the latest reports here in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Eastern New York, Long Island. I believe it's Sunday, all Sunday, and then stopping mid-morning Monday, like 11 o'clock. Yeah, so buckle up. All right, the southern tier. So northern Texas, southern Virginia. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get into you later, too. Katie. Devastating. Ice accumulations possible. So northern Texas and southern Virginia. If you have not prepared, do it now. Do it now. I will be thinking about all of y'all. Because when I go to my I get, the stats of the podcast and downloads, and I've covered how I can see where people are from. I do pay attention to the locations that come up often, just out of morbid curiosity, and sometimes I'll see Virginia and Texas and all of them, and, thinking about you at this time, man. This is gonna suck. I'm gonna be out there with my snowblower like 3 times, man, just because. Just because. All right, snowfall ranges accumulations forecast. Widespread areas from southern plains through Ohio Valley, mid-Atlantic, and northeast. 6 to 12 inches possible with localized higher amounts. Some regions, example parts of Ohio Valley, mid-Atlantic, northeast, including areas like Philadelphia, New York, Boston, and inland New York, like Connecticut, 10 to 18 inches or more, with isolated totals over 1 to 2 feet of snow in pivoting bands or higher elevations. So here in Connecticut, Litchfield Hills, buckle up. You're looking at you're probably pushing close to 24 inches. Ooh, yeah. Of snow. Get your mind out the gutter, yo. Snow. 2 feet of snow. Buckle up. Southern Plains, Oklahoma City, Kansas City area, up to 5 to 10 inches or a foot in spots. Let's see. Ice accumulation ranges primarily along the southern flank of the storm track. Examples, Southern Plains, Lower Mississippi Valley, Tennessee Valley, Southeast, Southern Mid-Atlantic, 0.2 to 0.5 inches of ice. If you don't know what the thing, the what the hell is that? What is that called? Anyways, conversion, that's it. Converting the decimals into fractions, 0.5 is half an inch. 0.2 is almost a quarter inch. 0.25 is a quarter inch. Half an inch of ice? Dude, if you all live in those areas, as it states here, with some areas facing catastrophic or significant accumulations leading to power outages and tree damages. If you don't have a generator, find someone who does. Hopefully you got a really cool neighbor. If you do have a generator, be cool to the cool people you know. Like I don't have a generator personally, but I have a cool neighbor. He's not going to hook up my furnace to it or my washer and dryer, fair enough. But in prior storms, he's texted me and said, hey, I'm brewing up a pot of coffee. You want a cup? You can come take whatever you want. I'll brew another pot. I don't care. Dude, that was cool. Bring over your phones. I'm going to fire up the generator. We're going to charge up our phones. Bring your phones over. I was like, dude, he didn't have to do that. Granted, it was simple. You know, like I said, it wasn't gonna hook up my furnace or my air conditioner, whatever time of year it was. But he didn't have to do that, and that was cool. So at the very least, help your neighbors out, because this, like I said, man, this is we're in for a bad weekend. This is going to be a hard weekend for a lot of people out there, and even the plow truck drivers. Man, y'all are going to be working like 15, 16-hour days. Keep the coffee hot and fresh for the plow truck drivers. For all those places out there that make coffee, Starbucks, Dunkin', mom and pop shops, all of y'all out there, keep that coffee pumping, because these men and women are going to need it, and we're going to need them. So let's keep this machine going. We're all in this together, man. This is going to be an S show. This is going to be a bad one. So I hope that everybody out there gets through this pretty much unscathed. Be careful shoveling. Don't F up your back. Stretch. Don't overdo it. I know somebody whose father died because they were shoveling snow. They died of a heart attack. We're going back like 30 years, but it's real. It happens. I know somebody that's had that happen. So be careful out there. And if you're up on a roof, clearing roofs, man, dude, be careful. Be careful with that. All right, let's get into the next one. Let's ruffle some feathers. Okay, so a little while ago I mentioned I was going to get into it with Virginia. Virginia, what happened to you? You used to be cool. You mean there's a song? Right. No, different state. That's the West Virginia's the best Virginia, right? Because the new governor of Virginia is, well, clearly a communist. And, yeah, Virginia, buckle up. Things are going to get a lot more expensive for you, especially when the people of the state that make the big bucks can afford to leave, because what's coming down the road for you if everything passes and is signed into law, which odds are they're not going to get any pushback. Abigail Spanberger is not going to get any pushback. So what she wants to do is, bend you over, not lube you up, and she's going to be taking a lot from y'all. So things are about to get more expensive. So I did a quick search again on Grok. Okay, it's an AI search. Do your own due diligence. Okay. Use ChatGPT, whatever. But again, make sure you do the search, use verified data. Anyway, so here in Virginia, I was hearing this story the past few days, and I just shook my head and was starting to laugh. I was laughing. And then, like I said, I was like, wow, Virginia used to be cool. What happened? So, your new governor, Abigail Spanberger, wants to propose some tax hikes, because that's what Democrats like. Yes. It's almost like living in Connecticut. Another hellhole. Okay, so they, whatever. Let's see. Net investment income tax, a 3.8% tax on certain unearned income. Example, capital gains, dividends for individuals, trusts, and estates, starting in tax year 2027, potentially raising the top effective rate on passive income by 9.55%. So awesome. Let's see here. Broaden sales tax to previously exempt services. That's right, Virginia. Just like Connecticut, certain things you didn't have to pay a tax on, you're going to now. Example, dry cleaning, landscaping, some digital products and services. Authorize hikes in transportation districts. Impose new taxes on retail deliveries. Example, Amazon and Uber Eats in areas like Northern Virginia. I'm going to pause right there. Who orders... Who orders stuff from Amazon? Does anybody order stuff from Amazon still? Like, is Amazon still a thing? I haven't checked since like noon today. It is a thing, right? Amazon delivers a lot of packages everywhere, right? Okay, so get ready, Virginians. Your Amazon packages, your delivery is, you're going to be paying a tax on that now. Ordering food late, your Uber Eats and your DoorDash, yeah, you're going to be paying tax. Yeah, good luck. Firearms and ammunition. Virginia, you used to be cool. What happened? You are now going this, if it goes through. When you buy firearms and ammunition, she wants an 11% tax on, 11% on gross receipts from retail sales of firearms and ammunition. That's right. So not only are you paying for the thing you want, your constitutional right, whether you like guns or not, it doesn't matter. But now you get to pay 11% more in Virginia. Again, if it all goes through, which you're not going to get any pushback. Come on. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, regional, local transportation related taxes and fees. Regional sales use taxes on transportation network companies like ride shares, retail delivery taxes, and commercial parking taxes in certain areas to fund transit and infrastructure, because you know damn well that's exactly where those tax dollars are going to go. Oh, man. Did you take a hit off of my pipe before me? Because you're high if you believe that. High income surtaxes, various bills, blah, blah, blah. Additional layers on income over thresholds. Example, people that make $1 million or more. Again, people that can make the choice to say, screw this state, I'm taking my money and going somewhere else. And then guess what's going to happen to the rest of you? You middle income earners, you low income earners. What happens when the top earners leave because they can afford to leave? Or they can eat the tax hike. They just don't care. It doesn't affect them. How does that affect you, though? You can't leave. You're still going to have to pay the hikes. That happens everywhere, right? Anytime a governor or anybody proposes taxes, everybody's got to pay the hikes. But, dude, you order on Amazon, there is I am curious on how many packages get delivered in the state of Virginia on a daily basis. You know what? I'm going to pause and see if I can find that out. All right, sorry about that. Obviously, I am back. So, obviously, there is no concrete numbers on that, but on Grok, using a whole litany of numbers and math, it was kind of scary. It came up with some kind of average number, and again, take it with a grain of salt. But just out of my morbid curiosity, using the 17.2 million U.S. daily averages, Virginia on average, 430 to 450,000 packages per day on average being delivered by Amazon. And they want to tax that. Yeah. Don't worry. All Virginians will benefit from these tax hikes. I am sure of it. I'm so glad there's not a camera on me right now, because my smirk is so evil right now. Y'all are screwed. Virginia's cooked. Y'all are just cooked. I'm so sorry, Virginia. Y'all done it to yourself, but I can relate, because Connecticut sucks assholes too. So, all right. Moving on to the next story. Definitely going to ruffle some feathers here. But, yeah, I don't care. Okay, here's a story that a lot of people are getting real wrong, and for all of the wrong reasons. For all political reasons, of course. Because I saw the schmuck that wanted to be president, but her drunk ass lost, thankfully, made a post, of course, on the internet, and 100 and something thousand likes because people are stupid. People are dumb. Okay, so many people are very aware by now, and if you are not, you will be after listening to this, about an incident regarding ICE, immigration enforcement, in Minnesota just recently. There was an incident that occurred on January 20th, 21st, I'm not quite sure. Nonetheless, people are blowing this story out of proportion with lies, simply to a narrative, simply because of a narrative, because of politics. And it's effing disgusting because once again, a certain political party is using children as a prop, specifically a child as a prop, with lies to shill a narrative. Now, regardless of your opinion of immigration enforcement, I'm not getting into that. It doesn't matter. Y'all, if you've listened to me long enough, you know where I stand. Point being, there was an attempted arrest. Now, I went on to Grok. I know I say that all the time. So I did the search, blah, 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 blah. Now, what happened? And I'm going to get into the details. The long and short of it, immigration went to arrest this guy because he don't belong here. He was with his son. I don't know if they were walking. Again, I don't know the details because I haven't read this through, the thing on my phone yet. I will, though. But nonetheless, when they approached, the father ran away. That's right. He left his 5-year-old son. Just, peace out, son. Peace out, kid. Bye. You're old enough now to hang. You're the man of the house now. Peace. And just ran away. He ran away from his son to avoid capture, to avoid arrest, to avoid the responsibility as an adult. As a man, he knew he was in the wrong. He knew he was in the country illegally, regardless of what you feel about immigration laws, and I'm not getting into that. Let's black and white. Was he here in the country illegally? Yes. Okay. That he left his 5-year-old son and ran away to protect his own ass. Despicable. But it gets worse. ICE, immigration enforcement, wound up taking the child. Said, hey, they're not going to just leave the dude, little man, just chilling outside. Hey, we're here for your dad. Bye. Have a good day. No, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that. But the narrative you are seeing in the news is that ICE arrested a 5-year-old. Wow. All right. If you believe law enforcement, immigration enforcement, or anyone arrested a 5-year-old, you are an idiot. You are a grade A certified moron. I really want to use colorful words right now, but I'm trying to be a little more professional. It's really hard when people actually believe that immigration arrested a 5-year-old. You are stupid beyond stupid. And I'm looking at you and the narration, the perfectly worded script in the teleprompter for WFSB Channel 3 this morning, Friday, January 23rd. I forget which talent was reading the script off the teleprompter, but I had to shut my TV off because the way it was written, it was so clearly obvious that it was BS. Sorry, I really I'm trying to be good. It was so obvious that it was narrative driven. Do better, Channel 3. We all deserve better. But anyways, I'm going to read the details of this. I'm going to get into it. But then I heard a detail on my way home today that floored me. I was texting with a friend of mine before I started recording today. I was telling him I was going to record this afternoon, and I told him I heard this detail that just floored me, dude. Like, floored me. So while all of you whiners, you awfuls out there, if you don't know what an awful is, Google it. You awfuls out there crying, ICE is arresting 5-year-olds, they're Nazis. Let me inform you of a detail that I'm anxious to see how you people spin this. I really am. Because it's going to be, the mental gymnastics is going to be next level. So while all of these people are crying, let me get through this, and then let me get to that detail. Okay, so the incident occurred, who cares, in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, near Minneapolis, whatever. The child is Liam Caneo Ramos, or Liam Ramos. If I mispronounced the name, it was not on purpose, I assure you. And the father is Adrian Alexander Caneo Arias, an Ecuadorian national described by DHS as illegally present in the United States. Okay, so the key details from official sources. Now, again, I know some of you out there are going to go, well, that's the government, of course. Take it with a grain of salt, man. I'm just the messenger, okay? Just the messenger. So ICE agents attempted to arrest the father in the driveway, I'm assuming of his home, I'm guessing, as he and the child returned home from preschool. Oh, see, perhaps if I shut my mouth and continued reading, I would answer my yes. So, okay, so there you go. They tried to apprehend this man in his driveway. Why are they tried to, his child's there. They're trying to arrest him in front of his child. I'm sorry. Have you never been to the inner city? Have you never seen someone arrested in the inner city? Even in the suburbs, have you never seen someone arrested for, I don't know, selling narcotics and their children happen to be present, which just so happens to be, another charge. But you've never seen someone arrested while their child is present? What world do you live in? Because I want to live there because it sounds amazing. Okay, the father fled on foot, leaving the child in the vehicle. DHS described this as the father abandoning the child. Regardless of what terminology, because again, I know the DHS, people are going to politic, right? Right. He fled on foot and left his boy in the car, dude. You know what this man, if this guy was a man, if he was a real man, now I don't know him. I don't know if this guy's got a record. Who knows? This guy could, up to this point, this dude could have genuinely been Father of the Year. And I'm not being sarcastic. I don't know anything about this dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm benefited out outside if he's an illegal. Outside of that, I don't know. But he left his boy in the truck, dude. If he was a real man, he would have just been like, and then looked at his son and say, don't run. Daddy's going to go on a trip. And then just do what you got to do, man. But he left his boy. Great guy. Great guy. Anyways, agents remained with the child for safety while apprehending the father. That is right there where the mainstream media and all of these internet hacks are going, that is where they arrested the 5-year-old. They're not going to leave a child just chilling. I am sure many of the adults that are in law enforcement are parents themselves. I'm guessing. I'm sure not all, but I'm sure a vast majority of police officers and firefighters, I'm sure many people in law enforcement across the have kids. They're not going to abandon a child. Like I said earlier, we're just here for your dad. Peace out, kid. No. Okay. This right here This right here is the thing I heard on Reese on the radio on my way home today that infuriated me and floored me. Because on top of this, as I continue to repeat, people continued crying about ICE arresting a 5-year-old and officers made multiple attempts to have the mother, who is inside the home, take custody of the boy. They assured her that she would not be taken into custody if she accepted the child. Now, I understand. I just heard a lot of buttholes pucker. I know there are a lot of people out there that are going to go, bull, all right? I wouldn't believe them either, right? I hear you. And honestly, I can't sit here and say that I disagree with you because I'm an American. Even if I wasn't, I'm here legally, like many people I know. I know people that are not Americans. They are legal residents. They have jumped through the hoops. But if I was let's say I lived in a foreign country and I didn't have my papers to be there, and I was told by the officials, just open up the door, you can take the kid, and you're good. I honestly wouldn't believe them either, to be fair. I'm just saying. But the mother ultimately refused to take her child. DHS states explicitly that the mother refused to accept custody. And again, I get it. I can understand. I don't know if the mother's here legally or not. I will assume probably not. Look, I'm just making the assumption. Dad's not here legally, but maybe she is. Again, I'm probably just an asshole making the assumption. Okay, fine. I'm a jerk. Call me a jerk. Whatever. But fair enough. I can't exactly falter for not trusting. But at the same time, it's your kid. And at the same time, lady, if you are in the country illegally, and if DHS tells you that line, and if they do genuinely lie to your face and do take you into custody, that is your son. That is your world. Your kid. I don't have kids, but I do know many people that do. And their children are their universe. Their world, their life stopped. Their life was put on pause when their kids came. Their kids are their universe, their world. They will work 90 hours a day, if it was possible, in order to do what they have to do for their children. So I understand her hesitancy for opening the door and not being trusting. I get it. Especially also on top of this, I don't know this couple's experience. I don't know what they saw, where they came from. I'm sure they saw some nasty stuff. I don't fault that, but this is your child. I don't care about any of the other stuff. This is your kid, dude. Dude, that's your kid. Clearly, these two adults are not the best and brightest that we are being told that have come here. As a result, the child was transported with the father to a detention facility in Texas, Dilley or similar. I don't know. DHS spokespeople, including blah, 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 and ICE official they publicly stated the alleged mother refused to accept custody of the child and emphasized officers' efforts to place the child with her. And again, I gave you my opinion on the why on that. But the spin in the news is they're arresting 5-year-olds. And it's like, bro, really? If you honestly believe that, you're a moron. You are a grade A dipshit. You're a dumbass. And please don't have kids. If you believe this, if you are dumb enough to believe that, please don't have children. And if you have them, give them away. Or better yet, ICE will come and kidnap them for you. You're freaking kidding me. You're freaking kidding me. I'm still astounded at why so many people come to the defense of criminals. I don't, and then people like this. It's astounding. Kamala Harris and the people. You're a buffoon. I am so just keep getting yourself to the bottom of the bottle, lady, and the others like her. Golly. All right. I'm going to collect my thoughts for a minute because I'm going to finish this up with something nice. All right. I said I was going to finish this episode in a positive note, and I'm going to. If you have been listening recently, I have mentioned that I have been attending the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. That's right. I've been going to CSB for a little while now, and I can say I am officially a graduate of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. That's right. I freaking did it. Not just I. We. There was 12 of us. We all did it. And I already told my man, Eddie, that I was going to be doing a little glazing on CSB today because I just have to. I just have to. Everybody, I have to. I have to. I hate school. I have always hated school. I was bullied. I was an outcast. And the things that I was taught, for the most part, I really did not care. Really didn't care. So I hate school. Never went to college. Didn't want to go. I did my 12 years. Peace. But I always wanted to be on radio. Well, I don't know if I want to be on radio because the FCC rules. I like the freedom of podcasting. But I went to CSB. Now, let me tell you something. I was an outcast and being bullied for years because, well, I'm a little odd. My last name doesn't help. Yeah, kids are jerks. Anyways, I did not feel out of place at CSB. And I don't know if it's just ordinarily like that or if it was my classmates, because I had 11 classmates, and the 12 of us are weird. We're all weird in some way. Not in a bad way, not bad. We're all weird and goofy. And where, like in a normal high school or something, where you would get looked at like you're the weirdo or get picked on for it. No. Everybody embraced it. Everybody was so awesome. Like, I found my people. That's what I said to someone earlier today. I found my people. We're all a little bit off. We're all a little bit weird. But we're all cool. We all pretty much get along. We all pretty much agree to disagree on certain things, but we get along and we love to laugh. And one of the most important things, they were all so helpful. If you haven't heard before, I've mentioned throughout the school year, my father passed unexpectedly. There was many tragedies for several people in the class. It was kind of weird. There was another person who lost a loved one. There was a couple of people who totaled their cars. Like, yeah, man, there was some weird stuff. It was like, is our class cursed? But I don't know. Maybe. But it seemed to it brought us closer. Because not only was I received texts from my classmates after the passing of my dad, not just for, hope you're doing all right, sorry to hear. But many of them were like, hey, we covered this in class. If you can get to class early, next class, I'll help you. And it wasn't just one person. It was several people. And even when I was there, if there were people that weren't in that text message, they still pulled up a chair and said, hey, do you need help with this? Or can you help me with this? We all worked together as a team, and that was awesome. That made going easier. And now I can finally sit back and breathe and really grieve because I've had school on the brain for so long. And that's what has really kept me focused through all of this. So I'm sure I'm going to have some tough nights ahead of me, but it's good. It's good because I made 10 brothers and a sister out of this class. These people are my family now. I told them that on Monday. I wasn't the one with the big speech. That was Johnny O, as expected. I would not expect anything less from Johnny O. He is the center. He is our centerpiece. He is our goofball. He is also our lightning rod for, jokes and criticism, but he takes it like a champ, and we love him for it. Everybody in that class is freaking awesome. Again, I don't know if it's just the classmates, but they definitely facilitate an atmosphere of working together as a group. Perfect example. I'll give you a little bit of insight in the school. For a final, you have to make a news package and a commercial. 30 seconds, hard stop on your commercial. Not a frame, short or long. Right, Rob? Hard stop. 30 seconds. Anyway, so in the final, everybody kind of gets a role. You run like a newscast, right? Well, because we had so many people, it was awesome. Everybody had a role. It was awesome. Well, we did a pre-final this past week, and I know my classmates are going, ugh. Right? If they're here, if you guys are listening, you know. All I'm going to say is Monday was rough. Okay? It was rough. It was rough. It was tough. Nobody pointed fingers. That was the biggest thing. There wasn't, well, that guy screwed up that. Sure, people thought it. That guy screwed up. This person messed up. But you know what? At the end of the day, we all failed. We all failed. As a team, we failed as a team. It didn't matter who did their job right or wrong. We all failed as a team. But then, my man Alex, shout out to my man. He was our centerpiece for the night. He ran the show. And on Tuesday, I believe it was Tuesday, we got a text message from him laying out how things are now going to go. He got everything dialed in, man. When I saw that, I was like, yeah. Wednesday comes, everybody, it looks like a newsroom. People are talking, people are working, running this way, getting copies. My man walks in the room. Let me tell you, the loudest I have ever heard Alex is when he is laughing at something stupid I say. And I appreciate that, man. You are awesome audience member. I love it. This man walked into that room, and he put on his big boy pants, and he swung them, and he was swinging. And he just said, listen up, and he snapped everybody to attention, and he just laid it out in a nice way. Stern, like he was the boss. And on Wednesday, let me tell you, folks, if you have never experienced what happens in a newsroom, it's chaos. But Wednesday, it was a symphony. We did our first take. I had no idea it was going to be the first take. I thought we were good. One and done. It was a thing of beauty. Now, I was just a camera op. I didn't have a whole lot of responsibility, but I was on the headset, man. I'm listening to the commands going on, and I'm seeing it, and I'm watching it, and I'm just in awe. And then we wrapped it up. Our instructor comes in. Very good. Positive. All right, let's run it again. And I'm like, wait, we have to do that again? Rob, you kidding me? That was awesome. Did you not just see what happened? And then we had to do take two. Take two. Take two made take one look like Monday. And maybe not that bad. I'm kidding. Take two was just another level. It was an epic symphony. Everybody's timing, they were on point. The chatter, everything was it was beautiful. I was standing there watching it unfold before my eyes in awe. When the light came on, when it was supposed to, it was beautiful. And you can be a part of that too. All you have to do is contact CSB. I am not getting paid to say that. Honestly, I'm not. I am dead serious. If it sounds like something fun and exciting you want to be a part of, if you want to know how to make videos, edit videos, make music, edit music, make commercials, how to make a podcast, go there. They want you to succeed. And it's not just for this typical, people, well, yeah, of course, the more successful, the more money they make. Well, yeah, it's capitalism, baby. But that's not it. The people there, the instructors, they want you to succeed. They ask you, what do you want? What do you want out of this? And you tell them, and they will do everything they can. Everything to help make that possible. Not just give you the tools, but they will show you the people to connect with. They want you to succeed. They want you to succeed. And as I stated earlier, the crap I had to go through, and I wasn't alone. There was a lot of us. Not only did our classmates help us through it, the instructors too. They would reach out. What do you need? What do you need? And I needed to get it on Saturdays. I wasn't alone. There were several of us on times. Hey, I need to get it. Okay. They did what they had to do to help us succeed. That you can't. That was awesome. If you currently do something, maybe you do video editing, podcasting, something. Maybe, I don't know. If you are doing something, I don't care what kind of video you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're making shorts, maybe you're making cartoons, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. If you're doing that, mention that when you contact them. When you go and you sit down and you take the tour, mention that stuff, because you can also apply for assistance. You can apply for a scholarship. Not guaranteeing you're going to get anything, but it's free to apply. And if you do something, such as myself, I was podcasting before this, put it down, and maybe you'll get a little help. Maybe. But for me, this was worth every penny. I thought about being on radio ever since I was a kid. Now with podcasting, I'm probably going to stick with that. I mean, I don't know about radio. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I'm really digging this podcasting thing. And I want to sit down with interesting people. I want to bring you guys interviews. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. But let me tell you, if anybody out there needs something done, yeah, I won't be the guy making your commercial, but I know people that can do it. They can do it. And they are amazing. You let me know. Okay. So I think I'm done glazing all over CSB. Night classes 2025. I love each and every one of you mother effers. Every one of you. I don't care how much you and I sat down and talked, what we talked about. Maybe we only chit-chatted a total of a half an hour over the last 17 weeks. It doesn't matter. I love each and every one of you. You are my brothers and my sisters. Okay? From now until my death, you're my family. I love you. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there since I have changed my beginning. If you are interested in following my drunken tirades and antics and memes and whatnot, if you're interested in funny, if you like to laugh, if you like funny stuff, not many people are, but if you're interested in funny stuff, you can follow me on X at Eric Not Sorry or on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I'm also on YouTube, so if you're interested in there, I haven't gotten a camera yet, but one day. All right. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep being you.